Hello, I'm Artarion, and today I want to show you my newest creation, which is beams and pillars in vanilla Minecraft. And also, it just so happens that it is a one-command contraption, which doesn't happen really often on my channel. So first of all, let me show you how to install the contraption. You just need a single normal pause command block, then you pause the command that I've put in the video description, or a link to the paste bin in the video description. Then you just power the command block and you're done. The chunk generates on its own. And let's see, is it powered yet? I think it is. All right. Well, I got those silverfish eggs over here. So let's see, what do they do? They have different names, which can be a bit confusing at first, but let me just show you them one by one. Let's start with the free high quartz pillar. You just right click with the egg and you have yourself a really nice quartz pillar. Now, what I really like about those pillars, let me actually pull out a normal pillar for comparison. They are significantly smaller, but they have their own hitbox, which suits the texture exactly. So it is really smooth to walk near them and bump into them, because the hitbox is pretty much perfect. Let's go on to the next pillar. It is the free high wood pillar, and also let me pull out some wood. It represents the dark oak wood. So yeah, it just looks really cool. I really like how it looks. All right. The next parts are wooden beams, or beams in general. The last letters, the SN, mean south to north. So let's just quickly see. South is there, north is there. So we would want to put it over here, and we have ourselves a wooden beam. And if we walk on it, you can see that it also has a pretty much perfect texture. Oh, you just saw what it's made of. But yeah, you can walk on it, and it's really cool. And the EW is just east to west. So if we put that down, right. But you can see that it works just like the south to north, but in the opposite direction. And it also has the hitbox and everything. The quartz beams look like so. They are also really nice looking. And the east to west version of them, nothing too special here. So now let me show you a couple of cool things you can do with these pillars. When you have a space like this, you can just put down the beams to create a fence, and you can go through. This is how a quartz fence looks like. And using this technique, I was able to create this little pen for animals. Let's put a couple of cows in here, and they can't escape. Just really great. You can see how they dwell in their little fenced off area. Alright, next thing is you can put two separate pillars on top of each other. They create one large pillar. So let me just take this, use the quartz pillar, and then you have to tower up like this, and use the quartz pillar again, and you have yourself a 6 blocks tall quartz pillar. And I really also like how you see the little square on the texture of the chiseled stone bricks. It matches the size of the pillar exactly. I really like that. And also it shows well on the sideways on the beams. It's really nice. Okay, let me show you another thing. So this is a little interior that I was able to make with the beams and the pillars. It's really cozy, and at first when you walk here, you probably can't even notice that something's off. Only when you're really close you start to notice the pillars and the beams. And that's really cool that it looks so natural and it fits the room so well that you can barely spot it at first. So this is, yeah, I think they are really useful in building in general and interior design. Let me show you another example of that. Welcome to the Marble Palace, a little project that me and a couple of my friends we were working on for the past weeks or so, and this is the place that the idea for the columns originated. So here they are, and now I have to put a disclaimer here that I did not in fact come up with the idea for the beam for the pillars. It was my friend Chuck and Sedar Games. I will put links to their channels in the video description. And at first I was like jumping around here and not noticing the pillars here, and when I saw them I was like, what are those? And yeah, they showed me how to make those, but their method was quite slow and ineffective, so I offered to make a much simpler machine, easier to use and faster, and that's what happened. So and the beams idea, like the vertical pillars, I came up with myself. So but this is how they look on a bigger building. When you're far away, you can barely notice that there is something there, but when you're up close, it really adds to the effect, having those little thin pillars in the contrary of those fat ones. Let me just give you a quick look around the castle. It's a little bit destroyed over there, but yeah, it's actually a public server. You can join and get a plot too if you want to. I will put the server IP in the description as well. So yeah, how do you like it? Tell me in the comments. I was building these beams and pillars for several hours, and then I had an idea. Wouldn't it be cool to have an online generator that you would be able to just put any block texture you want on the generator, and it would create these beams and pillars for you with that texture? Because it's really time consuming to make those, and that would just make it so much simpler. It would make custom interiors much easier to do, because now you can just use two textures with these. It would be just so cool to have like many pillar types, and it would certainly add to the variety of the building block choices you have. And yeah, I'm just not talented enough to make such an online generator. If I was, I would certainly do that. So if you have the skills, then you can give it a try, and it would be really awesome. Yeah. What else did I have to say? Oh, I was trying to make like a custom pattern here for the pillars with custom player heads, but unfortunately, if you put custom player heads onto an armor stand, because if you didn't notice, these are just armor stands stacked on top of each other with a cobblestone wall inside, and these are player skulls, normal skulls. So unfortunately, if you put a player head on top of an armor stand, then the texture of the player head is just a little bit smaller than the texture of the cobblestone wall. So it pretty much is really good when there is a block on top of an armor stand's head, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Hope you liked it. Oh, it's starting to rain. And see ya in my next video. Bye bye.